Greetings mortals, Brimthen here, and today we're going to be talking about Persistent Universe. Before continuing with this video, make sure you've watched the other video, or at least gotten comfortable flying your ship. Perhaps you have been in the Arena Commander, done the free flight mode, and got used to flying around. Maybe you did some of the races to fly through the rings and getting used to maneuverability. Maybe you did the Vandal swarms and pirate stuff where you can get used to combat and that kind of jazz. But once you feel comfortable with flying, let's get into Persistent Universe. This episode is going to be covering starting out on the game, waking up in the Habs, navigating around the town, buying some clothes, buying some armor, buying some weapons, as well as taking off from your first hangar, and then going into Quantum Drive and landing at your first space station and everything in between on that. So if you have never played the game before and you're interested in playing the game, be sure to give the link down in the description for my referral code. You want to, when signing up, use this referral code here or use my link to sign up. It really helps me out. It lets me get through the referral program a little further and get some of the goodies down towards the end. But it also helps you out with some starting cash that will stick with you even up until release. Even if they wipe, you will always have the 5,000 USC from here, as well as any of them that you get from your packages. So, you are ready, you feel comfortable about your ship and all that kind of jazz. Where do you need to go and what do you need to do? So first things first, we want to go to Persistent Universe. When you first click it, it's going to bring up the character customization options. You want to select the head that's back here, and then, like, for example, whole head here, we'll change the whole head. If I go down here to say brow, you want to select the dude behind you, and then you use this little slider to adjust the brow to look more like his. It is a really weird way to go about it, but it's a really intuitive way to make your character, and you can get really, really close to what you want to look like. So I went with this kind of look, and once you're ready to accept it, you'll be brought to this screen right here with a Stanton Select screen. There's another drop down right here, which lets you select between the 4 planets and their major cities: Hurston, Crusader, ArcCorp, and Microtech. For the purpose of this video, we're going to be using ArcCorp. And what I want you to do, though, is read Hurston, read Crusader, read ArcCorp. Click it. It'll tell you more about each one of those places, and pick a place that you think is really cool for you. For the purpose of this video, we're going to ArcCorp, so let's go ahead and visit that location. Again, if you haven't set the game up on an SSD, this loading screen could take a really long time. There are some bugs in the game still in the form of infinite loading screens, but genuinely, give it at least 2 minutes to 5 minutes before you exit out, quit the game, and that kind of jazz. It could just be a really long loading screen. It's happened, but it eventually can catch up. If it goes past 5 minutes, Task Manager, kill it, and relaunch the game. The servers on here are a little wonky. There's a thing called a 30K. It's when a server completely dies out and it kicks everybody out of it. It sucks because it doesn't remember your cargo. It doesn't remember your Quantanium if you're mining or whatever. So you will lose some progress when it happens. But don't fear. New players, 30Ks really don't bother too bad because you don't have that much to lose. Other bugs in the game are like no floors on the elevator. If you ever see missing textures or things that are gone, don't walk out into the void. You will fall through the floor and you will end up dying on it, and you can end up bugging your character pretty bad and have to do a character reset. And you want to do character resets as little as possible, only when you need them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just understand that you're playing a game in the alpha and that there's going to be bugs. It's something that we have to live with inside the game until they get them ironed out. We're all alpha testers. We are all here helping test out this wonderful game. When you first wake up at your selected place, you will be in what is basically an apartment system, looking up at the ceiling from your bed. Just press and hold Y and it'll let you out, just like you would in a ship to get out of the seat. A lot of these planets, some of the space stations, don't really have a lot of interactable things because they're fairly older. But a lot of the things in here on some of these, you can sit down on chairs, you can open up cabinets and mess around with little things. Eventually we'll be able to turn on TVs and mess with even more stuff. And there'll just be more stuff to do in general. For example, you could power this on and you can see that it is supposed to be a TV that would turn on and all that jazz. But just take a look around, look at your new little habitation area. Maybe, you know, take a look at the bathroom. You know, you got fingernail clippers and all that kind of jazz. Just take in the sights and sounds of your new home, basically, away from home. And then when you're ready, go up to this front door that's on this building and press and hold F to go into the point-and-click adventure game and hit the open button. And what we're going to do is go looking for the elevators. Some of these places are a little strangely set up, so just take you a little second. If there's some windows to look out, go look out over the town or wherever you're at and just like take in the sights. ArtCorp is a big cityscape type place where it's quite beautiful in my opinion. This is my character's hometown, or at least what I like to say is my hometown, because this is the first place that I picked and joined the game. And you can actually watch me start out on the game and learn everything from scratch in my playlist for that. Use the point-and-click adventure to go down to ground floor. And I have a very bad itch on my eye right now. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, our goal is to go buy ourselves some clothes so that you can look a little fancy, kind of like myself right here. Haha. Now, every planet has different clothes and different stuff to set up. For example, my shirt that I'm wearing underneath the jacket is from Crusader, whereas my gloves are here from ArtCorp, and my shoes are currently from Microtech, and I think my pants are also from Crusader. But you have to go to different planets to buy different clothes. As soon as you get out of the apartment building, there is the gun store and armor store, as well as Kappa, which is your main clothing store. And you can look out over the towns. You can get yourself some hot dogs or whatever else is out here. But my biggest suggestion for buying your clothes and buying your items is you can do like window shopping and buy them right off the racks if you want it to. But I highly suggest seeing their entire inventory by using these little screens right here and going through and seeing what the actual clothing and stuff looks like. So here's some of these boots. Here's some gloves. Here's some of the pants, you know, and just pick out what you want and go ahead and buy some. For the most part, clothing is fairly cheap, so you shouldn't really break the bank too much. But definitely plan to save some of your UEC in order to buy one weapon and some sort of armor. I really suggest only buying one weapon because you don't want to waste too much of your starting cash on buying multiple weapons. But what weapon you end up buying, I highly suggest the FS9. And it is here. If you go into Chubby Blast, it's here on ArtCorp. It is my favorite weapon in the game. It's a LMG that's really accurate, and you'll want to buy yourself it and some ammunition. So here's the FS9, 2,500 credits. In the attachments is where you buy your ammunition. I suggest buying at least like 5 magazines to 10 magazines, somewhere right in there. They're fairly cheap. I bought like 100 and something of them my first day here. And then I had a character reset and lost all that money and stuff. So I really suggest only buying like a little bit of ammo, maybe like 10 maximum, maybe 20. You can buy other attachments, but you really do need to look at buying an undersuit if you don't already have one. Any undersuit will do. You don't need multiple undersuits. Just pick one. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. Your armor's going to go over top of it anyway. Your biggest choice is choosing between light armor, which is usually a lot cheaper, or heavy armor, which is a lot more expensive. The trade-offs is movement speed versus the low and high temperatures. Heavy armor can handle colder weather and hotter weather easier than lighter armor, and it also has a 40% damage reduction, but you are slow and your food and water drains more when you're wielding heavy armor. I'm a pilot, so I use heavy armor because if I'm getting out of the pilot seat, there must be a problem, and I'm probably going to be needing the slower movement and higher damage that my weapons and stuff do. But there's a lot of really cool helmets and things to pick from throughout here, so just do some shopping pick out you a nice weapon, get yourself some ammo for it, pick you out some armor. I really like the MK4 heavy armor, but there's a lot of really cool options inside this area to pick from, so just make your decisions as you see fit. Once you've gotten yourself some clothing and some armor, some guns, and some ammo, make your way on through the town, and I highly suggest taking lots of stops and just looking around at how beautiful this place is. It is insane how beautiful every single one of these planets are. ArcCorp's my favorite, just given that it's kind of like this metro city type thing. You got advertisements and like all of this interacts with the player, like you can touch it and it pops up and says fizzy berry drinks and stuff. But once you're ready to take off for the first time off of here and you're done looking around, make your way to the city flight or whatever bus/tram system there is, because this is a space simulator and it's a huge place. This is a whole planet worth of stuff. You have to take the tram to go get on the hangar system and everything. So we're going to go take the tram real quick here. We have another 40 seconds. So I'm just going to do a little time lapse of the big lady here until the tram gets here. So we have got the tram done. Now we're going to get on. We are going to just take in the gorgeous view of traveling. I'll go ahead and speed this part up as well and get rid of my face cam for just a second. Despite that being super fast for you guys, it's actually quite a slow experience, and this whole game is a very slow game. Don't be ready for fast-paced action, gunning down people, and all that kind of jazz. This really is a space simulator where you have to wait on the trains, you have to kind of, you know, dock and do stuff like that, and space is slow. Space is not fast like in the movies, and this game really shows off how slow space really is, and I think they do such a good job doing it. A few things about navigating around. You want to follow the signs as much as you can. So you see this is leading to the customs area. You know, this is a restricted area. Don't worry about that. You know, we want to keep moving through areas to just kind of find out where stuff is at. You know, restricted personnel. This is the Customs and Information's office. If we continue through here, we end up at the place where you can buy rentals. But what we're looking for is these little keypads right here called Vehicle Retrieval Consoles. Hit the use button and you will find a list of all of your ships. I'm going to pick my RSI Aurora MR, which is probably the starting vehicle that you have. Otherwise, it'd be a Mustang. Hit the button that says Retrieve. Wait for just a second to let it retrieve. Take note of where it says they're delivering your vehicle to. So we're Hangar 2. We get this little marker right here that shows Hangar 2. So we are going to now, you don't follow really this icon. You want to look for elevators. So Area 18 Transit, Customs Area, Hangar Elevators. That sign is what we're looking for. Hangar Areas is this way. So we're going to start heading this way. It says the hangar elevators go to the right. See, a normal player would just follow the Aurora sign and end up at the commercial flights area. We're trying to go to hangars. So we're going to turn right here and go down one of these elevators here. We're going to Hangar 2. On here it says Hangar 2. We're going to select that. And you have no idea how often I've clicked lobby on the bottom down here and just stood in the elevator like a dum-dum, waiting for it to take me to Hangar 2 when actually I selected lobby and I'm still waiting on it because I'm so used to hitting lobby everywhere else. Here we are at Hangar 2. Our Aurora should be here. And I have a little bit of damage on my vehicle, as you can see. I must have hit an asteroid or something. So we're going to talk about setting yourself up in the future as well here. So I'm going to back up a little bit, hit enter ship. I am now going to enter the pilot's seat. And then I'm going to hit F2. And in this F2 screen, it gives you a map of the entire star system. You can also go down here to Vehicle Maintenance Services. And you see I got 6 UEC worth of repairs. I need to refuel a little bit, refuel my Quantum. And I got all 3 of these selected and hit confirm. I'm also going to go into my F2 screen and go to my Equipment Manager. And I'm just going to real quick put my undersuit on and then put me a helmet on just to make sure that I don't suffocate to death. And that's all I'm going to put on for right now, because we'll talk about equipping your character with everything in just a moment. But I need at least a helmet to survive in space and a spacesuit. All right, our power is currently off. You can press and hold F and look for flight ready, or you can just hit U on your keyboard. The biggest tip for new players: we are currently in a hangar and we have to have the doors open, and we have to contact air traffic control to let us leave. You can do this by pressing F11 and going to your friends list and then hailing the Area 18 landing services. But there's a much easier and less line of sight blocking thing, which is to click menu on this little thing and hit comms. And then comms will bring up your friends list. And as you can see, I have Area 18 landing services, and I can just click this little button right here, and that will call them, and they will start opening the hangar doors for me.
You are clear to launch.
I am going to put my little box right here in the white, like we said in the first episode of guides. And then I'm just going to press space when the doors fully open. So I'm going to wait for these doors to completely open before I do anything. I'm going to press and hold space, and that is going to get me to the center of the hangar doors. I'm going to press W to start moving forward, move my mouse slightly up, and try to get to a 45-degree angle. If you look right here in the center of the screen, you see these numbers. I'm going to go up to a 45-degree angle, put it about middle ways of red, and then press C to put the cruise control on the right there, and let myself get up to speed. While I'm doing this, I'm going to let it keep my crosshair right there in the middle. I'm going to hit F4, and then just take a look at the city behind me, and like take in the atmospheric, like we are leaving our first planet. Like really take that in. You can press and hold Z to look around your ship, and you can press and F4 and Z to zoom in and out. So F4 and Z to zoom in and out, Z and moving that way, moving the mouse to do the rest of the looking around. Once you have taken in all the sights, I want you to press F2 again. This brings up your star map. The map can be a little funky to use sometimes. And what I want you to do is set a course to Arc L1. We're going to click on RL1 and then double click on it. And then look for the Arc L1 Wide Forest Station. Left click on that. This box up here in the top right should say Arc L1 Wide Forest. We're going to click the Set Route button. If you have troubles with this, use the WASD keys to move around and mouse wheel in and out to try to get in there. Double clicking sets your camera onto whatever you're trying to look at. So if I was trying to look at ArcCorp, I would click on ArcCorp, I would double click on it, and then I would start zooming in, and then I would click on it again to open up all the cities and everything, and Area 18 is the main city, that's what that circle's about, and then they show different little outposts and cities all the way around. If I was wanting to look at their satellites that orbit it, it's these little orbiting circles that's around it. So you see there's Baji Point right here. And if I double click on Bajan Point, you can actually get closer up to it. And then you can zoom out and all that kind of jazz. It takes a little getting used to get used to using the star map. It's a little awkward, but double clicking on things that you want to look at is what you mainly want to do. So I have set a course to Arc L1 Wide Forest. You can see over here on the left-hand side how much fuel it's going to take. We have to go to OEM 6 first, and then Arc 1, and then to the station. It's going to take 101 seconds total to get through all of it. It's going to use 26 fuel. I currently have 583. So I'm going to hit F2 to get out of that. What we're going to do next is hit the cruise control to stop, because we're probably out of atmosphere at this point. We're going to move our box back down into the white, and notice that my momentum is still carrying. I'm still moving really fast up until I get to that point. Now I'm going to press B to open up quantum systems. It's going to start spooling. That has to hit 100%. And then we want to calibrate on the target. If you look down here, there should be a green arrow leading you to your target. If there's not, press F2 to go back into here, hit clear route, double click back on Arc 1, click back on it, hit set route, then hit F2 again, and then you should have that little green arrow. I am not receiving the green arrow for some reason, but it is the only thing that I can pick, so I'm going to do that. I don't know why I have this graphical bug, but you can follow the arrow to see which direction it is, or you can look for the arrow in and around your screen. So if you look right here, you'll see that I got it. It's pointing like an arrow pointing towards it right there. So we'll just point ourselves at OEM 6. Any issues you have is usually fixed by quantum traveling. Once calibration says ready and spooling is complete, you can press and hold B in order to start quantum traveling. And I suggest after that, looking for the next route, which is going to be Arc L1. It's kind of in the sun there, but you can see Arc L1's right there. And then we will go ahead and press and hold B. And then it's going to take some time for us to go through quantum travel. Pressing F4 and looking around with Z shows that we're leaving ArcCorp and heading off to Crew L1, or Arc L1. You can actually look on your screen here, your progress, as we leave ArcCorp and heading off to Arc L1. You can stop your quantum travel at any time by pressing and holding B. And all it's going to do is stop you right where you were in the middle of space. You'll keep moving at whatever speed you were going if you have cruise control on. And then if you do that, you may have to recalibrate and reset up to keep pushing forward. So we're going to let it finish calibrating and start our quantum travel again. And we'll just give this a second to get to Arc L1. Now, with planets, it's going to look like you're about to crash into something, but you're really not at the end of the day. It's entirely okay. It's just how big it is versus how small you are. It just looks like you're going to crash into it. My buddy Jake was sitting here next to me, and we was going to Microtech, and Microtech came up, and it got real big on the screen, and he grabbed my arm. He's like, "You're going to wreck." And I was like, "Nah, man, we're in low orbit. We're like, I don't know, 50,000 kilometers above the planet. Like, we're not going to hit it anytime soon." It just looks like you are. So now that we are at Arc L1, we are waiting for our quantum drive to kind of cool down and then recalibrate so that we can get this last 67 kilometers to get to the Wild Forest Station. And if you have any issues, just remove the quantum travel for a second and then realign back onto it, and then it'll do all the other work. With these stations, I don't know the last time I've been to Arc L1. Just kind of put it in the red a little bit to travel straight at it for a minute. Once you get to about 12,000 kilometers on it. So if you look, I've put up quantum drive just to see the kilometers on it. Once I see that hit about 12, I'll usually take it out of the red and let it just be down in the white for a little while. At about 7,000 or 8,000 kilometers, you'll be able to request landing, because you'll have to request landing from them. So I'm going to stop my cruise control, put it on the white. We entered an armistice zone. Combat is prohibited. We're waiting on it to tell us to, up here, request landing from ATC. So give it just a second. We have this little comm thing pop up. It should say it. Please contact ACT to land. So we'll scroll down to the bottom of our friends list, and just like before, with opening up the hangar, we will request landing from Wild Forest Station. We will get rid of Quantum Drive, because at this point, we're just waiting on their icon to pop up. It is that little circle with the arrow pointing down. That is where we're going to land. So we're going to go into the red just a little bit and try to navigate over to whatever that is, whether it's a hangar, a pad, or what have you. We'll find out in just a moment. So I'm going to drop it from red and start slowing down a lot more. It looks like it's going to be a pad. I'm not sure if I'm upside down yet or not. Just kind of eyeball it a little bit to try to figure out if you're upside down or what it is. As you get used to going into different places, it will be a little easier to pay attention to. So this is a pad. I'm just going to try to navigate myself over it. And a little pro tip here, put your, I accidentally hit cruise control on accident. Put your box right there and then hit F4. Press Z and line yourself up on the pad vertically, like so. And then press F4 to go back, press Z, and then put down your landing gear within. My nose is pointed down just a little bit, so I'm going to look up just a little bit. F4, and then just kind of bring it in there. Real slow like. No sense in going too fast. You don't want to hit the ground too hard. Then press F4. And then what you want to do is power off, or press U to turn off everything. Then press and hold Y to get out of your seat. Open the door. And then just walk on out and head on into the space station. Be sure to take a look around. Make sure you have your helmet on. If you don't have your helmet on, you will start to suffocate out here, because there is no air where I'm standing right now. But these space stations are absolutely beautiful. I love, particularly I like Bonji Point, because you get to look down at ArcCorp a little bit better. And that's where I'm going to take Sir Baldus here in a moment. Because me and him is going to get together right after I make this video and just kind of show off that little bit of the game. Now, once you request landing somewhere, this is your new respawn. If you log out of the game or die, you're going to respawn here at this space station. Not at ArcCorp. You're going to respawn at this space station. Now, that's subject to change with the next patch, because they're going to be changing up how med bays work and everything. But current patch, when this was made, I'll spawn at ArcCorp, or I'll spawn it at Arc L1 and not ArcCorp. Take a look around your first space station. Be sure to store your vehicle before walking away. So I want to store my Aurora MR. If you don't do this, you could get fined for kind of blocking the area, and they'll impound your ship basically for a little while. You'll have to pay a little fee to get it back out and stuff like that. But there's these really cool viewing bays and stuff like that. But that's how quantum travel works. That's how you take off in Star Citizen. That's how you find the noodle bar. Of course, everything matters when you find nudes. So yeah, go give it a try. Hopefully this video helped you. What you want to do next is start looking into the different contracts to do. These are just little missions for you to do. There's bounty hunter missions. There's cargo missions. There's all sorts of different stuff that you could do. And you just read through it and, you know, accept missions and finish them up and stuff and make some currency. Make some friends, buy yourself some ships, and have fun. Peace. Oh, before I go, let's talk about equipping your character. So as you can see right now, I have my undersuit on. And we want to start working on the armor. So just like on the first episode where we just kind of set ourselves up with all our stuff from Star Marine, we do the exact same thing here. We set all of our gear up. We go through here and select any utilities that we want. In particular, I like my squall knife that I've got. Weapons-wise, I go with that rocket launcher I was telling you guys about. But I'm currently bugged out. I am missing certain items. They are still in my inventory. If you ever get a bug where you don't have your armor or you don't have certain items anymore, just understand they're not gone. They're in your character still. You just have to log out and log back in, and usually you will end up finding them again. We go through here and set it up just like I explained in the first episode for Star Marine, and you should be good to go, buddy. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace!